Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. I'm your host, Rainiac, and I'm joined by two special guests. Firstly, to my virtual left, if he were a Power Rangers monster, he'd be the Mirror Maniac. It's FreezingInferno.
Smirk emoji.
And to my virtual right, who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, and drown a motherfucker in emojis, it's Kat.
Take it back now, y'all.
And today we're going to talk about the episode 2 of Series 10, Smile.
Poop emoji.
Indeed.
It wasn't that bad.
That might have given away what Kat thinks about the episode. Oh, you liked it?
I liked it.
Oh, you completely tripped me. It was like poop emojis. That's just the review, but right? Thank everyone for watching the podcast.
What Kat actually meant is that she's rating the episode Patrick Stewart out of 10.
I can't believe you brought that up, you son of a bitch.
This episode gets a 5 out of 7.
See, I understand what that means.
I do, and I hate myself for Okay, let's just go straight into the review before we break ourselves before we've even started. So yeah,
we already did that.
We have to. That's true. We have to get something out of the way, and that is who this episode was written by.
It was written by Jesus.
None other than Frank Cottrell Boyce, who also wrote a little-known Doctor Who story called In the Forest of the Night.
Which I would probably bet money on when the Capaldi era is finished and all the stories get ranked in like the big Doctor Who polls. Forest is going to be down below the bottom. It's going to be like one of the top 3 worst Capaldi episodes, probably. Unless in these 10 weeks, someone really fucks up.
Yeah, I would hope it's in the bottom 3 of Capaldi episodes. Although it was a very mixed reaction to that episode. I know, it's the most divisive of all of Capaldi's episodes.
I know at least one. Well, I mean, the bad Capaldi episodes are pretty goddamn divisive. I mean, you've got Forest, you've got Kill the Moon, you've got Zygon Invasion Inversion. So
yeah,
those are all pretty, either you love it or you hate it kind of deal. Whereas I'm sitting here like hating Before the Flood is the worst Capaldi episode.
I also hate that one. But
we're talking about a good episode because Smile was pretty dang good.
Yeah,
at least until about the 3/4 mark for me.
Yeah, the third act, it kind of falls apart in the third act, but we'll talk about that in a moment.
We can't talk about that yet.
No, we can, just not quite yet.
Take a shot.
We're not doing the drinking game. We had to discontinue that drinking game after someone complained of having to get a new liver.
I mean, I'm innocent. I mean, if you want to blame someone, blame Stevie Moffat for putting all those mirrors in it.
No, if you want to blame someone, blame the person who played the drinking game with actual alcohol.
That's true.
I just used tea.
That's true.
That's too. That works.
But the point is, it feels like I made this point 3 minutes ago, but the point is that because of who wrote it, I was skeptical that I was going to enjoy this.
I mean, we made an entire goddamn Cloister Bell joke about that.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I will say one thing. I completely forgot who wrote the episode, so I kind of went into it with a blank slate.
That's a good thing.
And then afterwards, I remembered, oh, wait, shit, Frank Cottrell Boyce wrote this. Fuck, I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he repeats too many of the mistakes he made in his first script. The fairy tale aspect is toned down.
You sure as hell repeats the plot.
But the imagery... Nice. But
wait, I'm sorry. This is the Doctor Who reviews. He reflects the plot.
Oh, Kat!
Hey, okay. You owe me $1 now.
It's in the mail.
You're charging money for this now?
I got the conversions.
That's it. I'm writing you out to Jane Campbell.
Shit! Goddamn!
You have brought this upon yourself.
Look, if we were really Jane Campbell, I'd bring up the fact that the chairs are prominent at the beginning of the episode.
Jesus.
God's sakes. Please talk about the show, Rainiac.
The point I'm trying to
Yeah.
make and doing an awful job of getting to is that this episode looked goddamn gorgeous.
Oh,
It
yes.
did.
Much like Forest looked gorgeous in terms of the aesthetic with the park and the nature and the trees and all that. I'm talking like Professor Frink there. With the trees and the nature and the tiger and oh god.
Oh, Lord!
And it was filmed in Spain. It was filmed in Valencia, specifically in the Museum of Arts and Sciences.
Which is a
And-
gorgeous building.
That's nice.
It created a very believable-looking, futuristic city landscape.
Yeah, I buy it. That's nice. That's an actual location. It makes sense, but I didn't really think about it. When
Stephen
I was
Moffat has
watching
called
it,
it perhaps the best alien city they've ever had in terms of location.
Ooh, it was nice. It was definitely really nice.
That sets a very high bar because, Rings of Akaten was, in terms of, alien vistas and alien
God.
landscapes, that sets the bar pretty darn high.
Rings of Akaten, gorgeous. I mean, I watched that a little while ago.
Then again, I think that was mostly studio. This was an outside set.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
And I was a bit concerned that because it looked so good, it wasn't going to be as good in terms of the plot. And it kind of was, and it kind of wasn't.
Yeah.
It's a better plot than Forest.
It's still the same plot, though.
That's damning with faint praise, basically saying, well, it's better than in the
It really
first
is, isn't
one."
it? It really is. But there was
Like I
one thing that somebody pointed out on Twitter. In fact, if I may have a hideous name drop in there for a second, Ironicus.
Who?
General Ironicus
The
is
something awful guy?
Yeah, something awful guy.
Okay.
He does Let's Plays with Chip Cheesen. He summed up the plot in one tweet. He said, "Tonight's Doctor Who was about destroying an exploitative structure, liberating enslaved people, and protecting indigenous rights."
Which is interesting because that's what the story is about in that third act.
Yeah, which doesn't quite work.
Which doesn't work because the other two are just really strange and quite unlike what Doctor
No,
Who.
I can sum up this episode with even less than a tweet. I can sum it up with one word. Skynet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Jesus.
If Skynet were cute and talked in emojis.
And actually cared about the human race rather than just wanting to destroy because humans are assholes.
That's the problem. They care too much about the human race.
Yeah, the whole grief plague thing.
Actually, you know what? Rather than Skynet, the Matrix might be better.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess.
And one criticism that I saw on the internet from various reviews was that the episode didn't exactly play to Frank Cottrell Boyce's strengths as a writer, which I really can't.
Obvious joke here.
Yes.
Yeah, strengths.
Yes. But he's more of a children's writer, so with Forest, that's why he had so much of the fairy tale aspect in it. It didn't quite work. Here, he toned the fairy tale down, and it worked a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
He still had a fairy tale in there, though, about the magic haddock.
I liked that. That worked. I mean,
I've
it's
never heard
basically
of that.
like
I've never heard that story before.
It's basically like the monkey's paw. The Doctor tells it with a slightly more optimistic ending.
It's
Or
pretty
it's
dark.
the story of any genie ever, other than the one in Aladdin.
It's pretty darn dark for a children's story, isn't it? About I wish my son would come home from the war, and he does in a coffin.
Have you read any goddamn fairy tales in their original works?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Fucking
seriously.
dark.
Yes, that's true. That's very true.
Seriously. One word, or rather two, technically, Sleeping Beauty. Fucking
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah,
I was thinking Little Mermaid, but okay.
Little
Sleeping Beauty
Mermaid,
is
Sleeping
worse.
Beauty.
You'll have to tell me about it later.
There's plenty of others. Oh, I see what you did there.
Cinderella's pretty dark.
Okay.
Yeah, Cinderella is very dark. But moving on. What do we think? How do we think Peter Capaldi did as the Doctor in this episode? Because I'm told.
I have a pretty good opinion of him in this one, but it's for an interesting reason, and it's mostly pertaining to my own headcanons and things I picked up on as I've been writing the Capaldi era. If I can go on a little tangent here.
You may.
All right, so when I did Into the Dalek, when I did the write-up of that, I came up with this idea of Clara, who was teacher at Coal Hill, also teaching the Doctor how to be better, because at this point he was a crabby old asshole. And she was helping him along and whatnot.
When was he not a crabby old asshole?
Well, you know, but the early Capaldi era write-ups, all that. But I did eventually sort of drop that in favor of Clara is a dark mirror of the Doctor. Then in Heaven Sent, when we had Clara supposedly dead, the Doctor had his own imagining of her in his head, telling him to press on and teach on. She was using the blackboard. There was more Clara as teacher. And now, here in Series 10, we have the Doctor as, well, a college professor. And he's tutoring Bill. So it's a weird reversal of that whole mechanic that ran along the 12 Clara era. So I do like that. It's interesting in a fashion.
I really like the scene where he was basically teaching to her, like giving her a private one-to-one tuition session, talking about the Vikings and how they'd overturned the longboats. I thought that was some really nice exposition.
It was pretty good.
It was interesting. It was accurate. So I don't know who was responsible for that, whether it was Cottrell Boyce or it was Moffat, but whoever it was, well done.
Yeah, it's like you learn something by watching a silly sci-fi show where robots murder people.
He also had one of my favourite lines of the entire episode. Well, it wasn't so much a line of the episode as more of an exchange of dialogue. When they are confronted by the emoji bots for the first time, and they realise that to escape them they have to smile, and they're sort of like praising the robots, and then then Bill says, "It's better. We're going to Wiltshire/Aberdeen." And then the doctor says, "Yes, 2 thumbs up for Wiltshire/Aberdeen."
That's pretty good.
But it's the way he talks with the smile on his face, like the full smile while he's talking. Because I've seen people in real life talk with a big forced grin on their face, and it's just like that, and it's hilarious.
Beautiful.
Like I'm sort of doing it now, and you can sort of hear how my voice is sort of changing because it's got to, because I'm maintaining this smile on my face, and it's bloody painful, by the way.
What the hell are you smiling at?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm smiling right now, and I'm sure my voice sounds normal.
I also like that he got it wrong. I like the fact that the doctor got it wrong for once.
You fucked up!
He nearly fucked completely up.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
He nearly destroyed everybody.
It's funny because, the whole line about I suddenly have a childish impulse to blow everything up, it's very, like, Patrick Troughton or Sylvester McCoy, come down to a world and stop the bad people and blow everything up. But this is that, but then he's like, oh shit, I fucked up. Oh, bad. It's good.
It makes him a bit more relatable because he's not infallible.
Yeah.
Also means that when he actually does come up with the actual solution, it has more impact. Well, it should have more impact, but the way this episode was resolved...
we're gonna get to that.
The way it was resolved is a bit iffy for me. But
it was kind of Deus Ex Machina.
It was very much Deus Ex Machina.
But, I wouldn't say Deus Ex Machina so much as we explained and left just a little too ambiguous. Like, I really love ambiguity. And I can sort of headcanon in the way that it makes sense, like, ethically and thematically, but also it's like there's just a little spark of just with a little tiny bit more explanation. It would have worked seamless for me.
Yeah.
That's all it really needed.
Gonna bring Kat in here because she's not really had a chance to say much. What was your opinion of the Doctor in this episode?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought I would say this about an episode written by this guy, but wow, these guys were really well written. I really liked all the banter that they had going on. I liked, the explanation, the Doctor, sort of trying to figure it out, kind of figuring it out, then realizing, oh shit, I didn't actually figure it out, now I'm gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah.
So it was a sort of a good transition where he kind of had the confidence to know that to think that he knew what was going on, but also didn't.
Yeah. like I said, he's not infallible. I mean, we know he's not infallible. He's made mistakes before, and occasionally he's paid for them. But here, he manages to correct his mistake before he actually makes it.
Yeah.
Which is good, because this is not really going to be a major... I wouldn't think this is going to be a major episode in terms of the history of the show. And that's fine, because not all of the episodes can be like that. Otherwise, it would undermine the show in that regard. If every single episode was important to the history of it, then we get fed up of it.
Yeah.
We need the one-off adventures and just the fun romps. And I think this was more or less a fun romp.
Oh, and I will say one thing. I like the fact that when they did mention the actual, the vault, they kept it to, like, just a couple of lines, and then it was sort of pushed out of the way.
Yeah, weird how Nardole didn't appear in this episode at all, apart from that.
Well, no, because the Doctor's literally sneaking out of the house at midnight.
I mean, if you wanted more proof that my theory that he was a last-minute addition to the series is right, there it is. He's in it for less than a minute.
I'm not making tea for her.
Yeah, true. But maybe it was better that he wasn't in this episode, because he probably would have dragged things down. No disrespect to Matt Lucas or the character.
I don't think it would have worked as well.
You put in a third wheel, and I'm not sure it would have worked so well.
No, what I really like about this episode, if I can go on a little tangent again.
You may.
Oh yeah, is just how retro it is. It's like I described it as Doctor Who stew, basically. So we have, for at least beyond like the flashback to how all the people died and Nardole, it's not until 29 and a half minutes in that we get any other human character actors other than Peter Capaldi and Pearl Mackie. So it's just the two of them exploring this weird, wild alien world, trying to figure out how everything works, which is something the show hasn't really done that often in the later years. Like, the last time they really did this, outside of some other little exceptions and whatnot, was like in the late 60s, early 70s. It feels very William Hartnell era, in a way. And then you got other weird shit, like the fact that, the whole cloud of nanobots that strip you of your flesh is obviously Vashta Narada. The whole smile or you die is both evocative of the Seventh Doctor story, The Happiness Patrol, where you had to smile or die because Mrs. Thatcher was involved, Space Mrs. Thatcher, and Space not Bertie Bassett. And it also fuses the classic sort of Moffat monster with "don't do this involuntary human function or you'll die. Don't feel sad or you'll die. Ooh, the monster will get you if you feel an emotion that you can't help but feel. Ooh, it's scary." You know that shit, yeah?
Yeah.
There's more. I don't have offhand. I'd have to look it up, but it's... There. Oh yeah, there's one more Hartnell thing I can talk about at the end.
That's fine. That's fine.
I will agree with Frez that the beginning opening, it's actually something I really enjoy, just because I don't know if it's because I'm so used to there being other people around whenever they go to certain places, or other aliens or whatever, but it just felt so empty and lifeless. And it was just the perfect intro to this area that's essentially populated only by these robots who are going to kill you if you even, sniffle a bit at a sad picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the fact that it built up quite a good atmosphere with just the two of them in the empty setting, apart from, of course, the robots and all the discarded skulls in the garden. That was pretty creepy, by the way. I thought they were supposed to all be grinning, like the skulls were supposed to be grinning, as was explained in the episode synopsis. They didn't really touch on that. I mean, one skull was potentially grinning, because as we saw her get killed, she was smiling. Oh, just on a quick tangent, it's a bit weird to see that actress die so soon in the Doctor Who episode, because she was in the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Really?
Yeah, the actress was called Nina Anwar, and she actually had a fairly major role, because she was Rani, not that Rani, another Rani. She was Rani's mother.
Okay, so when are we going to get a crossover called The Two Ronnies?
Was that a two Ronnies joke?
Maybe.
I'm quite impressed you even know who the two Ronnies were. But it was just strange to see her play the part of an early victim. Actress is called Nina Anwar, as I say. Because in the past, they've gone out of their way to show that Sarah Jane Adventures and also Torchwood very much part of the main series continuity. Sarah Jane Adventures are referenced in Turn Left, where in the alternate timeline, it's actually Sarah Jane that dies in the hospital trying to save everybody with Martha, instead of the Doctor, because the Doctor's dead. And then Luke and Mr. Smith, the big computer, turn up in the Stolen Earth. So those side shows, spin-off shows, are very much a part of continuity and have been established as such. So it was just weird to me to see this woman, who I know for playing a more major part in a spin-off, die so soon into this.
Well, it's not the first time we've done shit like this and cast other actors in other roles in Doctor Who stuff.
Very
including
true.
Capaldi himself.
Capaldi, Karen Gillan, Freeman Agaman. God knows who else.
I don't think... Jenna Coleman doesn't really count because she was still Clara.
Yeah. Fucking... I can... There's a bunch more.
Yeah, and if we open it up to the spin-offs as well, Gillian Bleach has been in Torchwood, and of course Doctor Who as Davros. And various other actors have shown up in multiple roles over the series. But it's just something for me that it was a little bit jarring, but probably just a personal thing for me.
I mean, we're over here across the pond, so it's just some lady to me.
Some lady, yeah.
You know what, though? I'm going to go on a slight tangent with your tangent. That whole part where they have, the woman's coming in from, pollinating the weed or whatever the hell she was doing out there, and she comes inside to find out that their mother is dead and other people are dying. Is it bad that I kind of wish they had left that scene out? Why
would you tell her as well?
Yeah.
You know that if you get sad, you die. So you tell her.
Like, it wasn't a bad scene. It was kind of stupid of her to, tell her and, try not to explain this in a way that, they wouldn't all perish horribly.
Interesting scene, but at the same time, like, imagine if you had the reveal of where the hell the colonists were as actually... Oh, that's a telephone. As actually just the skulls that they find.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, if they hadn't included this scene, we wouldn't really have lost a whole lot. This way, we could have jumped straight into the mystery rather than us having, all these people being stupid and not doing what they're supposed to. It would have worked better, in my opinion, without that scene of the crew dying, essentially.
Yeah, I can see that point. I can see it.
I can, too.
It's like, I don't fault them for putting it in, and it's fine that it's put in. It's just something I probably would have not, seen anything missing had they not put that scene in.
Well, the only reason they put it in is to set up the whole reveal later on with Praiseworthy. That's the name of the kid, by the way. Praiseworthy? Praiseworthy.
Are you kidding me?
What?
I would have killed his mom, too.
The named characters... How do you come back from that? The four named characters were Kezia, who dies at the beginning, Good Thing, who also dies at the beginning, played by Nina Anwar, Steadfast, played by Ralph Little, a.k.a. Trigger Happy Idiot, and then Praiseworthy is the little kid.
What the fuck is with naming in the future?
Yeah, not great naming, but I suppose apart from Kezia, they were supposed to be sort of, I don't know, thematically appropriate names?
I don't get it.
With happiness or being resolute.
Well, now we know where he put the shit writing.
Yeah, basically. But the whole point of that scene is to set up the reveal where the Doctor finds the holographic medallion with the kid in it, and he realises that his mother is one of the victims.
But I would have preferred he had just found the medallion.
That's just it. I think if you were to do a supercut of this episode, you could leave that scene out and not really lose anything.
I know there is a fan editor type. I know at least one fan editor type, and if they ever get at Smile, I would almost guarantee that the first thing they would nick is that opening.
I know the fan editor that you mean, and they do some very good work. So if this person happens to be listening, please get rid of that when you get to Smile.
Yeah, I know you'll do it. Don't worry.
I bet you they're not even listening.
People listen to us?
I was going to say, I bet no one's listening. We're just talking into a void for an hour and a half.
This is why
God, that's depressing. What a depressing thought.
Jesus.
Well, it's only depressing if the abyss starts talking back to us.
Come on, Ren. You got to be positive. You need to smile.
Frez?
I like how the exact same reaction at the exact same time.
Frez, don't quit your day job.
I like how you two were mirroring each other there with that.
Boo! Boo!
I'm used to it by now. I'm used to it.
I'm laughing in pain.
You said don't quit your day job. He hasn't got a day job, so
Shit.
Oh God, you're cutting harsh now.
to the bone, right down to the bone. So
Ew, Jesus, you're worse than the Vardy.
The critics.
Boo.
It stinks.
Welcome. Welcome to the Freezing Inferno Pond Hour here on Doctor Who Review.
Save us.
Oh,
I'm going to be the equivalent of that cane that just comes on to hook the guy off the stage in a minute. But yeah, back to the episode, which we should probably be talking about. One thing the critics pretty much single-handedly praised, like all of them praised, was Pearl Mackie's performance as Bill, both in the last episode and in this episode again, and her interplay with the Doctor.
She's
and I
good.
think she was mostly a success again. I like the fact that she's still asking questions about the Doctor and of the Doctor.
It's what I feel about Bill is, well, I think she's a little less interesting in this one because she isn't really doing much interest. Like, I don't know, that's a bit of a harsh criticism. She isn't really doing much, but she is the standard follow the Doctor around and ask questions type. But the questions she is asking, they're taking the standard whole new companion introduced to the world of the Doctor thing, and they're asking, okay, what are questions that nobody has actually asked the Doctor before that we can have this character ask to make it unique?
Yeah, and yet some of the questions are actually completely, believable.
Why are the chairs so far away from the console?
Yeah.
Or at the classical two hearts revelation. Does that mean you have really high blood pressure?
Yeah, that was done for comedic effect, but
Look, it's still
some of the questions were serious and some of them were not quite so serious. But yeah, I like the fact that she's still asking questions, and it furthers the idea that in some respects she's a kind of a proxy for new viewers to the series, like she was in the pilot. She's new to the whole concept of the show, so too are these new viewers of the show.
So that's interesting in that aspect, that for these new viewers of the show, they're getting an episode which is basically Doctor Who stew. Like, hey, new kids, here's a lot of stuff that this show has done over its history that's really good, all blended together just for you to give you a little sampling of what we can do.
Here's the continuity we actually follow.
This show follows continuity? You couldn't fool me.
Surprisingly, yes.
That, but seriously, because this is Doctor Who continuity. Like, I know I joke about the fucking underwater menace a lot, but if you ever try to look up the history of Atlantis in Doctor Who, you are going to blow your goddamn head off trying to reconcile it.
Word of advice, don't look up the history of Atlantis in Doctor Who, don't look up the history of the planet Skaro in Doctor Who.
Don't look up any history in Doctor Who, basically, because you're going to have a bad time.
What is this, Undertale now? Is this Undertale now? Is that what this has turned into?
I mean, there's lots of skeletons in this episode.
Oh, God. I've walked into that.
What? Oh, God.
Just
there are robots.
Just browsing on the wiki for the page. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Something, something, bad time. Something, something, emojis.
All we need to do is have some goats appear in it, and then we'll be good.
Some goats?
Undertale. Goats.
Oh, God. Yes. Didn't you buy me that game? That makes it doubly embarrassing. I couldn't remember that. I think you did.
For God's sakes.
I think you did.
Wait,
But,
did I buy it or did Kat buy it?
I bought it. I got it.
That's what I'm saying. Kat bought it me. One thing
You did good.
One thing I think that kind of stuck in my craw a little bit. It's not Bill that solves the episode. It's the Doctor. This is kind of a rite of passage for all companions having their first proper trip with the Doctor. I think the exception was Rose. Rose didn't really figure out what was going on. The Doctor did in the end of the world. But that was more of a physical thing, and it wasn't so much figuring it out as, I've got to get to this switch to save the ship.
If we compare it to the last time that we did New Companions First Trip in the TARDIS, which was
Rings of
the Rings of
Akaten.
Akaten, Clara and the Leaf, which I wrote about in great length.
Yes, and that's Clara. That's Clara using her ingenuity and solving the problem of the episode.
You see, even back when we had that Impossible Girl shit, the real Clara was still in there.
Let's not go there.
Get past all that other shit.
Further back, Amy in The Beast Below solves the episode. She realizes that the star whale is not actually hostile. She hits the button. She saves everybody.
Donna's first trip. Yeah, I can't remember really back.
Okay, so it's not all of them, but some of them.
Donna and Martha was like,
yeah. That just kind of stuck in my craw a little bit. That the Doctor was the one to solve.
Bill could use that.
I did like the fact that they did it another way though, because while the Doctor was busy trying to actually come up with a solution, Bill was there trying to calm the kid down. Praiseworthy. And try and get the robots to not kill him.
I guess.
I have a slight theory about why Bill's not exactly doing a whole lot. Like, what was Clara's role? Like, her end role in the previous season?
Her role changed quite a bit, but...
well, like her end role, the one that she ended up in.
In the previous series? Dr. Light.
Yeah, she essentially became sort of the Doctor, and she went out on her own adventures with the TARDIS. What was Amy's sort of end role?
A mom?
Giving birth to River Song and essentially kind of killing the Doctor and jump-starting a whole bunch of other crap.
But also the Doctor's best friend.
So a mom.
Yeah, but it's like they've all had these huge winding stories about them.
Okay. That's
and like Rose, she absorbed part of the TARDIS and became like the time whatever thing.
I see what you're saying.
She was the symbol for the moment. Maybe we do need just a plain Jane person.
You see, I actually read an article today that was kind of talking about this, how the early Doctor Who's didn't really have like these big story arcs, and then the Moffat era comes along, and all of a sudden the story arcs really are big, and you got to watch every episode to figure this shit out, and we've sort of walking back from that a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is nice, I guess. I mean, I do like it. I would hope that Pearl Mackie gets some interesting, cool things to do in the episodes. But she doesn't need to have a big transformative arc, I suppose. She's cool as she is. If she does get one, hopefully it's done well. If she doesn't, then I can accept that she had some fun adventures and some good lines.
I'm perfectly fine with being plain Jane.
Yeah.
As long as she's got some actual character, so she's not plain Jane in that respect. Like she's completely beige and boring.
She's character. There's the whole sci-fi savvy thing.
Yeah.
Asking the question.
As long as it's not another series long, who is she? She's the Impossible Girl. Who's the hybrid?
I thought Rainier walked me down from that. You're bringing it back up.
I tried to. I'm obviously not very good at my job, but I tried to.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm sorry, I'm just bad at my job. Jeez.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Cutting deep.
Jeez.
Cutting deep.
Cutting so deep. Can I talk a little bit about the scene with Bill in it that I like the most of this episode?
Yes.
It's the bit where she realizes the Doctor's main role in life is to assist people.
Oh, that is a good scene. That's another like introducing lore to the new people thing. But
wow, it's almost as if showing, not telling, actually works.
How the hell are you gonna do that shit?
Showing, not telling, always the way to go. Well, not always the way to go, but usually the way to go. But I really did like that scene. I also like how it led to when she reappeared back in the colony, and The doctor said, "I'm not Scottish. I'm just cross." They already have some pretty good chemistry together. It's very different. It's very different to what's gone before, which is what we needed. Again, I like each companion to be their own person, to be unique.
Hey, Rainiac. You know what it's time for now?
Oh no, is it mirror talk?
Fresno's Doctor Who mirror update.
This is not becoming a regular section. I put my foot down.
Let's be real, Rainiac. It's been a recurring section since goddamn 2015.
Yes, but we're not giving it its own fanfare and headline.
I think here's what we need to do. We need to just make a graphic, and then we'll tally up how many references to mirrors there are in the episode. And as you start up the episode and we do our introductions, you just put it up, and it'll show how many references there are into the mirrors, and then we don't have to ever talk about them.
I like that, but also I'm going to talk about the two interesting shots in this episode of mirrors. The first is when the Doctor and Bill are running away from the Vardy nanobot things, and you see like a reflection of the dome glass and them running down the stairs. And the second is when the Doctor's down in the engine room trying to blow up the thing, and there's an emoji bot coming at him, and he sees it coming at him. He sees the emoji in the reflection of one of the gauges. This has been Doctor Who Fresno's Mirror Update 2017.
Do not give it a damn fanfare. If you must talk about mirrors and reflections, that's fair enough, but you're not hijacking an entire section of the review and giving yourself theme music. This is not ESPN, Kat. Stop it. But yeah, I will confess I actually saw that reflection in the very first time I watched the episode. I thought, Fresno will be talking about that.
I actually didn't catch it until the rewatch, believe it or not.
Oh wow! So I'm not doing your job for you.
Because that's why I do the rewatches, to catch these things that I miss.
It was a pretty obvious shot of the robot reflected.
Yeah, I saw it, of course, but it didn't click in my head for some reason.
I will say he has a point, because the second time I watched the episode, it made me realize that Bill once again says that the Doctor's running is like a penguin with its ass on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said it again. Can we get her to say that in every episode?
That I noticed on first watch, though. There you go.
I actually didn't, so there you are. We're even.
Okay. There you go.
Like I must have heard the line and laughed at it, but it didn't actually click that it was the same line. But yeah, the second, or rather the first adventure that the new companion has, like the proper adventure, is always a pivotal moment. It's a rite of passage almost. And I do like how when she realised that Earth was gone, when Bill realised that Earth was destroyed in the far future, her reaction to that, like the natural grief, that again makes her very relatable.
Ooh, that also, just as an aside, reminds me more of Doctor Who sweep continuity than that. The fact that the Earth gets destroyed, but there's a bunch of colony ships, that plays into a bunch of stories, both classic and new series. Like you got the Ark in Space, kind of, sort of, the Mysterious Planet, and well, the one that anyone who actually would listen to the ship probably knows, The Beast Below.
Beast Below, New Earth, End of the World.
Yeah.
What's the one that has Cassandra in it?
End of the World.
And New Earth. She's in both of those.
And that also features a companion who struggles with the concept of being in the far future. That being Rose.
Well, I don't know. Bill kind of got over it really fast.
She did, didn't she? Maybe a little bit too fast.
I mean, well, let's think about last time. Clara didn't really... There was just that scene where she's like, "Wow, the ring's are really pretty."
Yeah, Clara was very well adjusted to time travel very early on, but that was kind of her part of her being the impossible girl. So she'd already done it.
I don't know.
Through being splintered through time.
I don't know if you could read that into it really, but whatever.
It was definitely though a facet to her character. Whereas Rose has a moment where she's sort of struggling to take it all in. Even Clara, actually, that was an episode in the past, which was actually high.
Wait, Martha didn't really have time for it in... What was her first feature episode? Gridlock?
Who was this? Martha?
I want to say... Yeah,
no, the Shakespeare Code. The Shakespeare card.
No, future episode.
Oh, future episode. I thought it said feature. Sorry. Gridlock. Well, yeah, because she was kidnapped, so she didn't have time for that.
Yeah. And Donna's was
Planet of the Ood.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen series 3 or 4 since broadcast. Not really. So it's like, wow.
That's what I'm here for. It's fine. It's fine.
So I'm the old curmudgeon who knows episodes made before I was born, and you're the one who knows episodes from 10 years ago. We make a good team.
Yes, we do. It's almost like I had that in mind when I brought us together to do these podcasts.
Wow! Incredible synergy from our podcast.
Forward planning. Don't leave home without it.
I'm just get that sweet YouTube money.
Holy shit! Don't quit your day job. You're doing good.
Forward planning. Don't leave the Batcave without it.
I don't know if this is just me being cynical, but if I had a time machine and, a new pal who could use the time machine and I went into the future, my first thought wouldn't be, oh, the Earth must still be around. It'd be like, okay, the Earth, it might be gone. I know definitely the people I know are definitely gone. I wouldn't be that broken up about it because that's just life. But again, that might be my natural,
No, I think different people react in different ways.
But we've consistently had people acting the same way.
Well, yeah, Rose and Bill acted much the same way. But others didn't. I mean, Donna didn't have that moment. Amy didn't have that moment.
Were they allowed to have that moment, or were they lost, in the moment?
I can't really remember much about The Beast Below. Other than
Liz
Liz 10.
That one concerned the devil.
The devil?
Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure that they had the chance to actually think about it for too long.
Yeah, you could very well be right. But anyway, with an absence of memorable side characters, and really the side characters didn't do a whole lot, that leaves us with the monster for this episode, which came in two forms. We have the Vardy and the emoji bots. Now, I thought the emoji bots, that wasn't their official name. I thought that was just a name that the fans had given them, and also it was kind of a term that I've been using.
Oh no, that's their official name now.
That's their official. No, it's their official name. It's in the credits. They're never referred to as emoji bots in the episode itself.
Well, they kind of are.
They're just referred to as the interfaces. They're the
kind
interface.
of referred to as the emoji bots.
But it's in the credits, and it's also on the Doctor Who official website. So yeah, they are officially the emoji bots. That's canon. And the Vardy are the swarms of microbots that we see throughout the episode. My dad, once again, I'm going to probably have to get like one reaction from my dad from every episode now, because this is just getting too hilarious for me. He saw the emoji bots in the TV trailer, and he called them the Michelin Men.
Wait, Rainiac, you forgot. Rainiac's dead. That's the Doctor Who update. I couldn't even do it.
I'm so glad he's not very like new technology savvy, because if he hears this, he'd probably kill me.
Now on to the weather. It's going to be sunny with a chance of mirrors.
A huge depression over Scotland, and now the weather. So yeah, the Vardy then. I liked the concept of the Vardy, the little microbots. It's not the first time we've seen microbots in Doctor Who. It's not the first time we've seen microbots getting things wrong and messing everything up in Doctor Who. It happened in the first series with the Empty Child and the Doctor Dances, where they were reconfiguring people's DNA, if you remember.
I will say, as fun as the emoji bots were, I kind of wish we had seen more of the microbots, just because those are a bit more interesting than just the emoji bots.
Yeah, I like the idea of them literally being the walls of the compound.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more walls dissolve, and then they sort of flow off the walls and turn into the emoji bots or something.
I would have liked to have seen somebody
the emoji bots.
Destroyed, but like, instead of the way they did it, which was very Vashta Narada, as Fresno's already said earlier on, if somebody was just like sort of consumed by the wall and you just hear them scream, and then the wall pulls apart.
No, because I remember a certain concrete slab that...
Oh, that's nothing like that.
God, no.
That's nothing like that. But yeah, I thought the emoji bots were okay. I like the fact that because they were a friendly robot, never trust a friendly robot in science fiction, they tended to be anything but. But they do resemble the handbots from The Girl Who Waited. In fact, there's not very much originality to the emoji bots. Other than the whole emoji thing. That was fairly original.
Like I said, Doctor Who soup. But I did like the one part of the ending. The doctor tells them about rent and the eyes.
The body emoji, yeah. Outside the eyes. That was a great visual gag. It's like, we need to discuss rent, and you hear like a ka-ching sound effect. And then their eyes light up with money. But yes. Funnily enough, little fun fact on the Vardy, which by the way is spelled V-A-R-D-Y. I looked it up. And the reason it's spelled like that, not with an I, is they're actually named after a person.
Oh, shit.
A Canadian...
Well, I spelled it with an I.
A Canadian professor by the name of Andrew Vardy, who teaches at Memorial University, and his object of research is...
Wait. What?
Yeah, he's a Canadian.
I fucking went there!
You went to Memorial?
There's a Memorial University in Newfoundland.
Maybe that's the same one, I don't know. But this particular Andrew Vardy researches swarm robots, microbots, nanomachines, son.
And he worked on a short story with Boyce.
He did?
Yeah.
You know more about this than me. I'm impressed.
Holy shit!
So that's why it was called.
I need to find out if this guy was from the university.
I didn't know this when the episode aired, though. So to me, I heard the Vardy, and all I could think of was the Leicester City footballer Jamie Vardy, and then that just completely took me out of the moment.
I really thought the Vardens, an obscure fourth Doctor monster that only showed up once, and then I thought that was fucking stupid, and just thought of them as nanomachines.
Nanomachines.
Oh my god, he is in the Newfoundland one.
Holy shit!
There you go. You may have met him.
Oh my god.
I never took like nanobot bullshit.
No, but you might have met him around the grounds of the university. And just
maybe no, fucking no. It's really strange.
Like
wow!
I went to Reading University, and there are professors that appear on television that I never saw, but they were there when I was there. We just never crossed paths.
Hot goddamn! Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Another thing that's similar to the handbots from The Girl Who Waited is the idea that the handbots were killing humans because they thought it was a kindness. They even say, "This is a kindness. Do not be alarmed." They were doing it not to kill them, they thought they were helping them. The Vardy, the emoji bots, are absolutely killing people, but they're doing it to counteract the plague. Which is what you do when there's a plague. You get rid of the infection. It's an infection.
And really, you could kind of argue that grief is an infection because it can spread so easily.
Yeah, that was another of the concepts that I kind of liked. Unfortunately, it all kind of fell apart in the third act.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we've spent a good solid 2/3 of the episode building up the mystery and setting the scene quite wonderfully, and all the atmosphere, and there's nice little set pieces with the robots chasing the Doctor and the robots chasing I think they called a Pearl then, Bill. And then that little kid wanders onto the screen, and it all kind of goes downhill. Not because of the kids, not the kid's fault per se.
I know Kat said this to me. It said, smiles like if In the Forest of the Night had kids who could act.
Yeah, he had one job. He had one job, be sad, and he actually nailed it.
He wasn't bad. He had one job, cry.
He was fine. Funnily enough, the one actor that for me kind of fell a little short of the mark, and you won't know who this is, was the guy playing the lead colonist that got very trigger happy. That was Ralph Little.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually lied for months that he was in Doctor Who, because he was like linked to the show. He said, "I'm not in Doctor Who. It's all false rumours." And then of course he's in the second episode.
Now how about they do that, but with an actual actor who's going to be the next Doctor?
That would be wonderful.
Why would they do that?
Lie through your teeth for months, and then all of a sudden show up at the end of the show and be like, "Whoop."
And
Yeah, but then they get free publicity.
yeah,
It's like all you have to do is mention that you're on Doctor Who, and all of a sudden you got all the publicity you could want.
yep, very true, very true. But he was doing the opposite. He was saying, "I'm not on Doctor Who." He was trying to.
If it wasn't for the fact that Doctor Who is actually a good show, Nicolas Cage would be all over that shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, whenever the Doctor regenerates, I know who I want to play the Master next.
Oh, no.
Just have him play it exactly like he did in Face Off, and we're golden.
I mean, come on. If Eric Roberts can be the fucking Master, Nick Cage can be the Master.
We don't talk about that.
Oh, I talk about it. I got it on my shelf. Every New Year's Eve, I get chips and dip, and I get a shitload of liquor, and I watch that goddamn thing.
Chips
so if Nick
and
Cage
dip.
is going to be the Master, can Bruce Campbell be the Doctor?
Oh my fuck. Okay, we're getting
That's who Kachiri wants to be the Doctor.
It's the chin versus the crazy eyes.
We already had the chin. Yeah, Matt Smith.
No, hang on a second. I just got to recover from the chin versus crazy eyes for a second.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
But yeah, that third act for me kind of undermined the episode a little bit. With the way the humans just get so trigger happy immediately, it's like, they've killed our families, grab the guns! They don't try to negotiate or find out why. And even though the Doctor is clearly very much more knowledgeable about this than they are, they don't really talk to him. They just go in guns blazing. And it's just an excuse to set up the whole firefight at the end to allow the Doctor to hit the reset button. Although I liked him, he said, I've got a secret move in chess, I kick over the board.
Now, that I really love, too. That is definitely, absolutely 100% a Doctor move. And part of what I really loved about Clara is the fact that she got savvy to shit like that, too. The Leaf, definitely. Yeah. A kick over the board, find how are you going to win, sort of thing. But then you get, the actual explanation, sort of what he did, and there's just something doesn't work about it for me.
I agree.
Yeah.
It just needed a little more explanation. There's a lot of criticism on last episode. Bill made a whole big deal about how would you feel if someone mind-wiped you, and we got that sad Clara Martin thing. And now it's just like, well, time to save the day. I've wiped the memory of all these robots. Cool.
Oh, God, I hope that doesn't become a theme.
Oh, God, no.
No,
if that's our series arc, no, do not want.
I'm not even giving you the... Oh, God alive. I don't want to come here next week and be like, mind wipe order.
I love that fanfare you give every single section. That's great.
Okay, but what is interesting about the criticism online is that people have said that maybe, and this is a reading I can go with, all he did was wipe the part where they're supposed to serve humans and make them as happy as possible.
Well,
So
I've got what he actually said from the episode up here. He said, I reinitialized the entire command structure, retaining all programmed abilities, but deleting the supplementary preference architecture.
That's technobabble.
So he doohickey the thing.
Yeah, and then it's explained as he turned it off and on again.
Yeah, that was quite good, but...
He did a happen.
It's like, from what we can at least understand, he obviously kept the programmed abilities, so what they're able to do, but I'm not sure what supplementary architecture is.
I guess the criticism we can take from this is that he did the thing that you wanted him to do, but then the writer just made up a bunch of fucking shit to explain what he did, rather than just stating what he did.
Or Moffat did. We don't know which of the two.
Or Moffat. I don't fucking know. One of you idiots.
One of you idiots?
Yes, I said to these people who are writing television far smarter than I.
And making a lot of money out of it.
Yes.
Potentially.
What money could the colonists actually have?
I think it was just a bit of an ending gag. I don't think it was actually meant to symbolize.
What's also interesting is that the doctor who's been so concerned and it's all about, oh, we can't leave, we have to help out. He just reprograms all these robots, and then he's just like, oh, you, sort it out, bye!
No, he offers to act as negotiator, and then it fades to black. And presumably you're meant to think that all the negotiating happened off screen.
All right, I'll walk that back.
Because he then talks about, how they're in the Vardy or the emoji. Did you say the emoji? But no, the Vardy are an emergent life form now. And as to your point of, he just wipes their memory without any hesitation. They're not actually alive.
They still have memory.
So in that respect, it's less bad. But I agree with you. The ending could have done with a bit more time in the oven.
Well, you see, Rainiac, that kind of thinking is what made Skynet happen, so...
there you are, we've come full circle, we've come back to Skynet.
I'm going to go with that they're potentially alive as an AI.
We've gone from nanomachine son to Skynet. My work is done here.
And I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords.
Yes, I knew that was coming, but...
Christ alive.
That may well be the third time we've made that gag in the course of these podcasts. Overall,
I mean, if I can talk about mirrors every time, you can talk about your robot overlords.
Well, if we're going to have that joke,
robot overlord.
Thank you.
Did you just mirror me?
Oh fuck! I have to be so careful now. I can't repeat him. I can't be similar to him, or he'll bring up the mirror shit. He's got me over a barrel, ladies and gentlemen. He's got me over a barrel. One last thing before we go to the overall thoughts on the episode. I love the way it ended. Like the last 30 seconds.
And here's where I get to bring up a plot point again. Remember when I was talking about how this episode felt like a William Hartnell era story? Well, in the Hartnell era, everything sort of led into each other. Like, all the episodes sort of just led into each other in one continuous big serial. You get out of one adventure, and then, oh no, here's the next. Because it was just this ongoing show thing. That's what this feels like. It's just you got out of one adventure, and now you get a little tease of the next adventure. Which is really interesting. It's not something Doctor Who's really done before.
No, I like that. I think the last time it did that was the ending of The Poisoned Sky with Martha, where she's about to leave the TARDIS, and the TARDIS locks its doors and takes them to the Doctor's daughter.
Yeah, there you go.
It did that with Donna, with her appearing in the TARDIS at the end of an episode. And I think it did it with the new Titanic. I think it did with the new Titanic.
It did. At the end of the Last of the Time Lords, the Titanic slams into the TARDIS.
Those feel more like cliffhangers leading into them, but you are, again, you are kind of right. Because these are like months between the episodes. Yeah. At the same time, but this is just next week. Here's the teaser for what you're going to do.
And I do kind of like that, like you say.
Oh, speaking of, I don't know if you guys had. Well, obviously, I don't think Rainiac had this, but I watched the premiere of it on BBC America here at 9 o'clock or whenever it came on. They didn't have a Next Time trailer. It just went straight into class.
Interesting. No, we got a Next Time trailer.
We got a Next Time trailer in Canada.
It was a rather good one, too. It was a rather good one, too.
I have no idea what the next episode is.
That's fine. Well, you'll find a little bit about that when I talk about the brief synopsis, but that's okay, because it doesn't give anything away, really. But, what were your overall thoughts, then, on Smile? Let's start to wrap things up here. Fresno, your overall thoughts on Smile?
It was really good, and I liked the way that it mixed a whole bunch of familiar elements into one unique sort of thing, but the ending kind of fell a bit flat. But otherwise, it was a perfectly serviceable, okay episode of Doctor Who. It's not going to be on all-time classic lists or anything, but it's not shit, which is a step above what Frank Cottrell Boyce did last time, apparently. So.
Wow, talk about damning with fake praise again.
There you go.
Kat, your overall thoughts on Smile?
I would say it performed exactly like a teenager having his first sex experience. It tried to give a good performance, mostly did, but had a disappointing ending.
Wow.
My fucking God.
Wow.
That's analogy corner.
Did you just say cat sex? Hang on a minute. Whoa. Hold the phone. Did you say cat sexual analogy corner?
Cat's weird analogy corner.
Oh, weird analogy corner. Oh, so I'm actually making it sound worse.
I'm going to say, one of those things is going to be a thing from now on. You'll have to guess which one, though.
We don't have to guess. It's going to be the bit about my dad. My overall feelings then on Smile. I rather enjoyed it. Definitely better than the writer's first effort, although that really wouldn't take much. I'm not sure if the script entirely played to Frank Cottrell Boyce's strengths, but he did good for what he had. Ending for me, kind of fell flat, despite the rather hilarious shot of the robot with the money in its eyes. And I'm not sure if Bill's first proper adventure is going to be as memorable as other first companion outings. I'm thinking of End of the World and Rings of Vakatan in particular that stand out for me way after they've been transmitted, in a way that this probably won't down the line, but I could be wrong. I think that Bill's character development has been pretty strong so far. It's continued in this episode, and by means of a segue, it looks to continue into next week, going by the trailer, because next week...
Which features Snapchat trying to kill everybody.
I was going to say, actually, thank you for reminding me, the one bad thing about this episode, it won't be long now before we get a Doctor Who episode that centres around selfies.
Oh, God.
Being a major part of the plot. You just know it's going to happen.
If you make duckface during selfies, you die.
Luca Chin is fucked. That's kind of her thing during selfies.
It's like everyone's thing during selfies.
But especially hers. Anyway, next week then, as I mentioned, we've got a brief glimpse of it at the end of the episode. We've got a brief glimpse of it in the next time trailer. This is Thin Ice. And
Gee, I wonder if it has to do with an ice monster.
Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? Maybe a particular type of ice monster, but this is the synopsis. So, in Regency England, beneath the frozen Thames, something is stirring. The Doctor and Bill arrive at the last of the Great Frost Fairs and find themselves investigating a string of impossible disappearances. People have been vanishing on the ice. Bill is about to discover that the past is more like her world than she expected, and that not all monsters come from outer space.
Wait, hold on. They're calling disappearances on thin ice mysterious and unexplainable? They fell through the fucking ice and it froze over.
We'll have to watch the episode
Mystery
to find
solved.
out. We'll have to watch the episode to find out. It looks pretty good going for the next time trailer. There's some really interesting character development.
There's a giant fish or some shit in it.
There's some kind of monster beneath the lake that... But again, trailers lie sometimes.
Gee, wow, this person disappeared near a bus stop. I wonder what happened to them.
Jesus.
Clearly, Kat, they got a helicopter right out of there.
Of course.
Only logical explanation. And I think that'll just about do us for this edition of Doctor Who Review. So all that's left to do is to thank my two guests, FreezingInferno and Kat, for being here.
You're welcome.
We're not getting the podcast up.
We're gonna have like one of those meme calendars, and each one is gonna have a different thing. And this is the meme for this episode. For us doing the
FreezingInferno, can I make a request? You never stop doing this.
Absolutely.
I'm joking, by the way. Please do stop doing this. We don't want to have this every episode. Thank you to my two guests. Thank you to you, the audience, for listening to this. If you're still listening to this at this point, I'm sorry. And all that remains for me to say, I've been Rainiac. Until next time, bye for now. Bark.
Internal reflection. What is this shit? That's... Ooh, wow.
Can you
that's
please
neat.
shut that dog up?
I can't control this dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. I'm your host, Rainiac, and today we're talking about Episode 2 of Series 10, Smile. And I'm joined by two special guests. Firstly, to my virtual left, if he were a... Oh, fuck.
Good job.
That's also going to the outtakes.
Well, We're gonna do well this time.
It's a good thing we've got 2 hours because we're going to need every single second of those.
Hey, Kat, should I tell him what I noticed on the rewatch now, or wait until we get into the video?
I mean, you can if you want to.
Let me guess. Was it about the emoji bot in the mirror of the...
You son of a bitch! You fucking called it!
I hate to tell you this, but I saw this in the very first watch. I was like, Fresno will be talking to me about that.
I mentioned the Cat. I didn't know. I didn't really pick up on it until the rewatch.
You have ruined the concept of reflection for me in fiction. You've ruined it!
You want to know something funny? I'm browsing Imager at the moment, and literally the next post was this one.
Renee, please tell me you're already recording because I need.
Yes. Oh my God!
I need the blooper. I need the blooper at the end of "You have ruined the concept of reflection."
That was literally the next post that I was going to look at.
You have also ruined the concept of reflection.
Holy shit! Oh God.